Hi there, Lizzy today with you, showing you a Christmas layout that I used with buttons and ribbon. First of all, I prepped the background, I guess you could call it. I don't normally use red cardstock, so I got out a star stencil, slapped on some gold stars with gold paint, threw on some splatters with gold ink, and then dribbled on a few white drawing ink splatters as well. So that created my background. Then I have a box full of Christmas stuff, so I've just simply pulled a lot of that out that I thought I might use from my Christmas box, and away we go. I've added some doilies, the white one because it blended with the white ink, and the gold because it goes with the gold stars and the gold splatters on the background. So that just lifts the photo off the page a little bit too. I like using white doilies. It seems to add something to your page. Mostly I've used my glue stick for this layout, but sometimes I'll pull out the Scotch glue, is it called? I don't know what it's called. It's sort of by Scotch anyway. I also used a bit of tissue paper. I really like using tissue paper. This I got in some Happy Mail, so it makes me happy to use stuff that I've been given. Not that I think they intended it for this purpose. And scrunching it up gives a nice bit of texture. I think I saw this Inky Quill or Sue's Fish originally, but lots of people do it. And you can, scrunch it around and it really does create a nice little border. So of course the gold in the tissue paper and the white tissue paper added to the layout, added to the colours that I've used, the combination of gold and white. Sometimes I use a little bit of masking tape, blue tape, who knows why it's blue, but just if I think it's not going to hold down really well. Once I've got my photo in place, then I start to create clusters, really. Firstly, I went down the bottom and looked at a bit of ribbon and thought, no, washi would do. And then, no, I could put ribbon over the washi. Oh, get out that hot glue gun, which I've just done. Didn't want to make you sit through all that. I've attached all the buttons and the ribbon with my hot glue gun. No rhyme or reason where they were, just thought they looked good. And that Hessian leaf, which I cut on my Big Shot and has been in my stash for ages. You add glue to them so they don't fray, but I was really pleased to use it. Saw this seal that I'd also been given in some Happy Mail, backed it on some cardboard to give it a bit of oomph and firmness for when I attach it to my layout. And of course, a circle punch comes in handy for that. I've got this little reindeer. It's a deer little die, a reindeer die. And because of the sort of paper that I cut them out with, they actually embossed rather than cut right through, which I left. But when I was adding it here, I thought, it looks better with the holes because then you can see through the Hessian to the back of that leaf, because that's originally where I was going to place it. So then I poked all the little holes out and went, I think I like it at the bottom better. Yes, definitely. So it didn't end up where it was supposed to end up, but it looks okay. And just pop that little seal in beside it. I think it says Merry Christmas. So looking up at Lucas with his Merry Christmas hat on, I thought was pretty neat. These words I've written out by hand and then used my brother scan and cut to cut around them. Saves fussy cutting. Nice upside down Christmas there for you. And that's forming part of the title at the bottom of the page. I think I've got Merry Christmas. I do a whole lot of them at once and then I've got them in the stash when I need to use them, so it works out quite well. Up the top there, I'm creating a cluster with a plastic piece that I just got out of the stash and stapling that on because that's the easiest way to get plastic onto your layout or vellum or anything. And of course, I always put a bit of masking tape over the back so that the staples don't scratch too much. The flare I fiddled around with for a while until I found a place for it down the bottom as well. And I thought a bit of wood would go with that Hessian look because that's the only other sort of texture thing that I've got going on. So I've popped a wood reindeer as well, and all of a sudden I've got this reindeer motif happening, so I thought one up the top would work. But I didn't, I just left the embossed look for that up the top. This is a funky flare pack that I got last Christmas, 2016, and haven't used because I liked it too much. Naughty, slap on the wrist. So this is a sticker tab that I've added to that same sort of cardboard that I used the round sticker. what I ended up doing was getting a little tie, which I was given. They're brilliant little ties. They look like craft twine, but they're actually a tie. Look at this. Isn't it amazing? So it makes it so easy to tie things up. Don't have to worry about, I don't know, making knots and making them the right length. Just poke it through. They poke through really easily, so I'm pretty impressed with those. I want more. Anyway, so we just twist tied it up and popped it down. Actually, we popped it up and popped it down because I put some pop dots underneath. So there we are, popping. When I put it down, I thought, need something else. So I got out some very ancient alphas, capital V, capital A, and used 3 to make the word joy. And I also thought that colour, that sort of, natural string colour, Hessian colour, tied in with the leaf and the twist tie as well. So I was quite pleased with that. So that's the cluster up the top done. As you can see, I've created, without meaning to, 3 clusters, top left, middle right, and bottom underneath. So you get that triangle going on. So you look from the left to the right and you look up from the top to the bottom of the page. I was given some lovely gold sequins, but they're on the string, so I very carefully pulled each one off, and then I'm attaching them to the page, sticking them to the page with my liquid pearl drops, because I like doing that. I wasn't very neat with this lot, but hey, didn't matter. The background's a bit messy anyway, so it just added to the general overall messy background look. There we are with the sequins. Nice bit of glittery, goldy look, and some on the edge of the photo as well. Next up, I thought Merry Christmas, we need the date. So 2016 was on that funky flare sticker thingy pack. So down they went. I've got a number of pens. I don't know why I showed you them all because I'm not going to talk about them all. However, this is the one I'm using for my writing, Staedtler Pigment Liner number 8. Number 8 because this cardstock is actually that texture weave, and it's really hard to write on. So the bigger the pen, the fatter the pen, the more chance of your writing not being too wonky. For underlining it, I use my Staedtler Fine Liner number 3. I like to use a finer line underlining it rather than the same as the pen. That seems to work well for me. And pretty much I think we're almost done. Oh yes, I thought it needed a little bit of black because with the black writing and the little pops of black in that tag and around the page, I just wanted to do that. So Viva Perlin pen. I like this as much as I like, probably more than I like the Ranger's enamel drops or the Nouveau enamel drops. Ranger's enamel accents, I think it's called, and Nouveau enamel drops. I just find I can control this one better, and even though it forms a skin over the top, which you saw me removing, I don't think I've ever had it actually clog up, which is a great advantage, a big advantage, I think. So we plop these along, plop, 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 bang, 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 splat, 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 to make them spread out a little bit, and that's it, we're done. We've got a Christmas page done using buttons and ribbon. Get them out, girls. Use them up. Otherwise, they just lie there getting mouldy. Well, not really, but you know what I mean. So I hope this gives you some inspiration and ideas. A few closies here. And there you go. Thanks for looking. Cheers and happy bracket Christmas scrapping. It's coming too quick. Cheers for now. Bye.